That's funny. It's not whisper quiet. This is not the kind of thing you usually imagine yourself doing with a camera in your face, but I'm doing it. I feel like I'm just kind of scraping the skin off my hand. It doesn't feel so great. Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm back with 3 personal care gadgets, all of them with 2 functions each. Let's start with the first item, which provides heat and vibration to your back. Let's take a look at this ComfyTemp Wearable Heating Pad, which is a heating pad and massager. I paid 40 bucks for this. Currently it has a 4.3 star rating among almost 5,000 reviews, and it's the best-selling heated back massager on Amazon. They claim that it's a portable cordless heating pad and massager. You won't be tied down to a cord, meaning you can wear it around the house or even while doing yard work. Provides heat and massaging vibration action. 3 heat levels, 3 vibration modes. The heat ranges from 113 to 158 degrees Fahrenheit. Fits waist up to 58 inches. Instructions, always nice. I think this is an extender for larger waists. Charging cable. There's also some instructions on the back of the box. I don't want to toss that just yet. More instructions. This is the 5,000 milliamp hour power bank. And here is the unit itself. Now, people online who liked it, they love the fact that it's portable and can be worn anywhere. While those who don't like it say it's slow to charge or the battery doesn't last very long. So we've got quite a few instructions to read over, and then we will get started. All right, I have charged up the power bank. We're ready to get started here. Let's take a closer look at the power bank here now. As you can see, you can charge other devices with it. It's a 5,000 milliamp hour power bank, which is not too bad really. There's a connected cable inside here. Attaches to one of the USB ports. Right here we have the heat and the massage functions. Hold down for 3 seconds to engage. Green is low, blue is medium, red is high. For the massage. They don't have low, medium, high, just 3 different programs. Green, blue, and red. I think green is constant, blue is pulsing, and red is kind of a combination of the 2. It's not whisper quiet. Let me turn that off and put this on here now. There's Velcro on this side, this first one, and then we pull these smaller ones out for additional tightening. So that's nice and tight. It actually feels and looks more like a back brace. So you can walk around with your heating pad on your back and nobody will notice what you're even doing. I've got the heat on high right now, but I'm gonna put the vibration feature on. I'm gonna test that first. That's funny. The vibration feels kind of nice at first, but I think after a while, I don't think I'm gonna like it so much. But it's kind of vibrating into my butt, like my butt's vibrating. You got a vibrating butt. That's the first one. Let's try the second one. This is like a pulsating effect. I think it feels okay at first, but I don't think I'd like that long term. And the third one, it's kind of mixing the 2 together. It's kind of steady and then pulses. I'm gonna go back to the pulsating one next. You do hear it. I mean, the heat is silent. I'm starting to feel the heat here, although it's not real prominent through this shirt, but it might take a minute to get warmed up. But the heat obviously is silent, but if you're walking around in public, people are gonna hear that vibration and wonder what's going on with you. Why is this guy vibrating? See, I just took it off and my back's kind of itchy. That vibration makes my back itchy. Maybe not everybody's gonna be itchy, but me, I'm itchy. But anyways, let's head outside and see what we got. All right, I'm outside now. I've got the waistband on. I figure I would try to do a real world situation here. Now I've got it on low right now, and the warmth, it really isn't that prominent. Inside, I've had it on for about 10 minutes, so it's had a chance to warm up for a little bit. But the warmth is like, the sun right now beating on me is approximately the same warmth I have right now, but it is on low. So I'm gonna switch it over to high. I'm gonna do a little workout here and see how it feels. Because they kind of advertise this is something you can do while doing yard work, while doing housework. So let's see. In the sunlight, I cannot see what color that light is, so I'm just gonna have to cover it up. All right, it's on red, it's on high. While that's warming up, I'm gonna clear out some of the rocks in my path here and see how it goes. So let's do that next. All right, a few observations after my first use in the yard here. Number 1, the high heat through my shirt feels nice, but low is probably a little bit too low. Like, if you had it in direct skin, I'm not sure if you're supposed to or not, but it just seems like the shirt really creates a barrier, so it's not that hot. It feels nice, but it's not too hot. Number 2, there is almost a weight to it. If you feel a little bit weighted, not a bad thing, but I do notice it when I'm wearing it. And number 3, I don't have a belt on and I feel like it's pushing my pants downward, so I have to, that's something else to consider as well. But that's just my first test. I have a few more things to try as I go about my day, so I'm gonna continue to use it in real world tests and we'll see how it holds up. All right, so I've been wearing it in the car and I have some observations. One thing that's kind of interesting is that when it's pressed up against your back from the seat, it actually feels a lot warmer. I had to turn it down because it was really hot. When I was out moving around, it wasn't so hot, but when it's pressed up against you, it's hot. The other thing is it kind of does create a bit of a bump on your back when you're wearing it, but on the other hand, that feels kind of nice. So in the car, it's a little different experience, but it's really still not that bad. Now, there's some women on Amazon who were saying they would turn it around and use it for menstrual cramps. Clearly, I can't test that out, but the good news, this is the first time I've ever said this before, but the good news is I have kind of a raging IBS flare-up happening right now, and I have had a very cramping stomach going on. So I'm actually dealing with stomach cramps right now. So it ain't the same as menstrual cramps, but I got cramps in that area, and we can see how it actually helps out. First time I ever realized my IBS cramps would come in handy, but today they have. So here we go. I'm gonna turn it around. While I'm waiting for this to kind of warm my stomach up, something else to point out is it takes about 3 to 4 minutes to go from turned off to about the temperature it's going to get to. It's not that long. A few minutes and you're at that maximum temperature. What I noticed in the car again is that if you lean against the seat, it presses against your skin and it feels a lot warmer. I'm not a big fan of the vibration in any of the 3 modes. They kind of make my skin itchy from vibrating, but let me try it here on my stomach that I am actually dealing with cramps right now. But I'll try it on my sensitive stomach right now and see if it feels good there. So let's try it out. I guess it's over here now. Setting 1, which is just a constant vibration. I still don't know if I like that too much. It's almost like if you're holding like a jackhammer, like my skin feels it's gonna start itching. Let's try the second one now. This is a pulsation one. Maybe not quite as bad because you get kind of a break in between each pulse. I almost like the second one, where the pulsation one. I kind of like that one. Try the third one, which is kind of like a mix. I don't know if I like that one as much. I'm going back to the second one. The other thing though is that my IBS cramps are way up higher. I don't know if I can pull it way up there. Can I do that? All right. That feels pretty good on my stomach. Now, the thing though is that when I was out before, I actually had someone ask me if I was wearing a back brace because it looks like a back brace. So this is the kind of thing you can wear out that looks like something that's pretty normal that people wouldn't question. If you wear it way up here on your stomach, that may not look so cool. It may not look so normal. But on the other hand, it does feel nice. It may not be perfect, but I'm definitely feeling it. Literally, I'm feeling it. I got heat, I got vibration. My cramping stomach is, I can't say it's better yet. I almost can't tell because there's so much stimulation down there. I can't even tell if it's better now. I mean, maybe that's a good thing. If you're a woman who deals with really strong menstrual cramps, this seems like it might be something to try out because the closest I got seems like it's helping a little bit. I don't know, I'm kind of a fan actually. So right now I've got it underneath my quick flip, which all it looks like is that maybe I gained a few pounds, but it's pretty well hidden. And there it is, not too bad really. By the way, a little follow-up to the quick flip I reviewed like 6 years ago. It has held up. I only use it 95% of the time as a hoodie, but 5% of the time I still convert it to a backpack. But back to the product at hand, I do think it's holding up quite well on my walk here, and it stays pretty well hidden underneath this hoodie here. So I really don't have much to complain about this. I'm not sure I'm really fond of the 30-minute auto shut-off, which you can't control, but I guess you can turn it right back on again. The vibration feature seems like it's less useful, although the second one did feel good in my stomach, so I don't know. I'm not sure what else to really test here, but I'm kind of liking it so far. And the price really isn't that bad. Next up, a dual function trimmer. This is also from an As Seen on TV company. It's the MicroTouch Titanium Edge Nose and Ear Hair Trimmer. Let's take a look at the Titanium Edge Nose and Ear Trimmer. I paid $45 for this. Currently has a 4.1 star rating on Amazon among 189 reviews. Currently an Amazon's choice. Carry case, instructions, a brush. They even included a battery, very nice, and the unit itself. So they claim it's a dual function trimmer with 2 heads, one for the nose, the other for precise eyebrow grooming. Titanium coated blades for long-lasting performance. It has a built-in light that allows you to get into hard-to-see areas. Includes one AA battery, 2 head attachments, which must be inside, cleaning brush, cap, and storage bag. Now, people online who liked it, they said it was surprisingly effective. They say they love the compact design, great for inner and outer ear hair as well. Now, those who didn't like it said it was overpriced. They said it was weak at trimming hair, weak battery life. One person said it had no value at all. My first impression is it's a bit cheap feeling. It is, it's very light. It's kind of light and cheap. That doesn't mean it won't work though. It also looks almost like a vape, you know, like, I don't vape, but it kind of looks like a vape, at least what I've seen. So I'm gonna have to read these over. I just tore it. After tearing it, I'll read these over, install the battery, and then we'll get started. So I installed the battery. So all you have to do is press on this bottom cap here and the battery goes right there. Now I was looking for the other head. I thought maybe it was in here, but it's actually not. It's hidden in the cap right there. So that's where the other head is at. But let's start off with this as is and see what we got here. Time to press the power button for the first time. Here we go. Oh, well, there's a nice pleasant light in there. That's good. And it sounds like you would expect a trimmer to sound. Now, I'm not sticking the camera up my nose to show the results. You're gonna have to take my word for this one. That's something, I draw the line right there. I'm gonna look closely though as I use this. So here we go. I'm gonna try in my ear and then I'm gonna try in my nose. I figure ear than nose is probably more hygienic than nose to ear, and then I'll clean it off. Ear first. Here we go. This is not the kind of thing you usually imagine yourself doing with a camera in your face, but I'm doing it. I mean, I'm sticking it kind of far in there. It's not causing any problems. I can hear it getting a lot of the hairs. I can barely hear myself because it's blasted in my ear. I will say it does seem a little bit on the weak side. It feels kind of weak. I have a trimmer just like this. It doesn't seem this weak, but it is getting the hair though. I mean, if it's weak, doesn't matter as long as it works. All right, let's go for the nose here now. Once again, I'm not doing a close-up of my nose. I know it'd be helpful, but gotta draw a line somewhere. But I will use this mirror. Wow, that's a lot of, I actually purposely have not trimmed my nose hairs or yanked my nose hairs, which you're not supposed to do. But I have not done either one in preparation for this review. So I got some long nose hairs happening. All right, well, good news and bad news on this one. The good news is it did a pretty good job of getting all the hairs on my nose. The bad news is it took a few more passes than my normal nose trimmer does, and it does seem kind of weak. The one I have is rechargeable. This uses AA battery, but it does work though. You know, I mean, I can't take that away from it. It does work. Since I already have a nose hair trimmer in my bathroom, I might leave this in my car, which I know sounds weird, but as I talked about in one of my recent vlogs over in Freakin' 2. When I drive into the sun and I can look in the rearview mirror and see all my nose hairs, I want to get rid of them. So maybe if I have them in the car, I'll be more apt to trim them than to yank them, which you're not supposed to do. Let me try changing heads here now. So what you're supposed to do to change heads here is all you have to do is unscrew this one. And again, that feels ultra cheap. That feels cheap. Now inside the cap here is the other head. So the way you're supposed to access it, there's a slider, this top part slides over. And then they say to tap gently and it should fall out. There it goes, there it goes. All right, so everything's working as expected. Now we just screw this on here. Now we have a single rotary shaving head. Now they say to test the part of your arm first before doing that. Maybe I'll do this right here. I don't care if I lose some arm hair in the name of a good review. Try shaving a little bit of my arm right here. Yeah, it's kind of working. Let me try a hairier section here. How about right here? There's a good chunk of hair right there. Pulling it. All right, it did get it. It did work. Now they say you can use this on the outer side of your ear and in between your eyebrows. So I'll try that. The camera really shouldn't be this close to your face. It's like 7 inches away. And I have no eyebrow hair in the middle there, so it's gonna be a fail in that respect. Can you see the hair on the edge of my ears? Hopefully you can, because I'm going with this. It is tugging. It's tugging my ear hair. It definitely doesn't like those long hairs. The long hairs are not fun. Well, it seems like it worked. Let's try the other one now. That's some facial hair. I'm struggling with that. It's not good for facial hair. Move this camera away a little bit. All right, so for ear hair, it did work, but it tugged in the long ones. For nose hair, it did work, but it tugged in the long ones. It doesn't seem overly powerful, but it does work. I don't know, for the price, it seems kind of steep. There's a lot of products out there that do this, and a lot of them are cheaper than 40 bucks. I've used MicroTouch products in the past. I haven't had too bad luck with them, but in this case, it feels kind of cheaply made, kind of overpriced, but if you do get it, it should work, but long hairs is gonna pull on them. And finally, on the cheap end of the range, this is a massager for your fingers and hand. Let's take a look at this dual-sided finger massager. I paid $6 for this on Amazon. Currently has a 4.4 star rating among over 4,200 reviews. Now they claim that it's a two-sided finger and hand massager, includes 2 massage options. One side targets individual fingers that you stick in here like this. The other side allows you to target specific areas of your fingers and hand. They say it increases circulation, reduces stiffness, and soothes arthritis pain. Now those who liked it said it worked surprisingly well for hands, fingers, and joints. They also said it was well made and provides the right amount of pressure on stiff fingers. Now those who didn't like it said there was no instructions. They said it's cheaply made, even falls apart while using, or uncomfortable and rough on the skin. Now there's supposedly a downloadable guide on here, which I will do. And then after reading that over, we'll get started. It's time to get started with this finger massager. Now on the packaging, they have a website where they have a massage guide. Well, that URL didn't work. When I looked it up anyways, all it was is a graphic they already have on the Amazon page, so I wasted my time. But let's see what we've got here now. So on this end, we're supposed to be able to place it on our finger. Now they were showing it on the side of the finger like this, but I was thinking you might do it on the top and bottom of your finger. Maybe you can do it either way. I would assume you could. So let's try this out here now. Just trying one finger here. I mean, I've done other massages like this before, and it feels pretty good. It feels pretty well made. Some people were saying it feels cheap. To me, this feels relatively well made. And it's not scraping my skin like some of those massagers did. And it kind of feels pretty nice, actually. It'd feel nice if someone did it for you. You can just lay back and relax, but that's how a lot of things are in life, right? So let me try doing all of my fingers here and see how it feels. Well, I mean, it feels pretty good. I'm not going to say I'm suddenly gained a lot of dexterity, but it does feel nice. Seems to increase the circulation. Now, they also say you can do it on pressure points like right here. Probably going to have to pull that apart a little bit. Let's see. I can go all the way up on my hand there. Oh, that does feel nice. And that feels pretty good too. I don't feel like this is pulling so much that it's going to break. So I do feel like it's kind of working here. I think this part of my hand is about as far as that's going to stretch, but it does work and it does feel kind of nice. I'm not sure I like this as much. They say this is a pressure point, and I'm not feeling that too much at all. But we're only halfway there. You can turn this over now and use this end to massage different points on your hand. So they're kind of mainly showing this for the palm of your hand. They're just kind of going right here for this one, which I guess that works. I'm not sure that really feels like it needs to be done. I'm not sure it really feels like it adds a lot of benefit. This I do like. This, you have stiff fingers, arthritis, this would probably feel nice, increase circulation. This, I'm not really feeling, I feel like I'm just kind of scraping the skin off my hand. It doesn't feel so great. Let me use my offhand to do my right hand, see how it feels. Let me see, which one I like better, the side or the top and bottom? Both feel nice. This is definitely the main use for this, is the finger massager. This one, I don't know how useful that really is. But this part, I really like this one. This feels quite nice. Especially if you have like carpal tunnel, I can see it being good for that too. It's very niche. That's a very niche product right there, but it does seem like it addresses a very specific problem. I feel like the other ones like this, I'm not sure that even feels good. It kind of pinches it. This part, I don't know how useful that really is, but the one for the fingers is pretty nice. I think it's pretty cheap, so this one might be a solution if your fingers need massaging. So in the end, what's kind of funny to me is all these have two functions and all of them have one function that works a lot better than the other. For the back brace, I really think the heat is by far the better of the two options in this one. For the titanium edge, I like the nose and ear trimmer, but the shaver, not quite as much. And for the massager, the one for the fingers works quite well. On the hand, I'm not really that convinced. But that's all I've got. If you've tried any of these gadgets, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.